So much of our anxiety is caused by things that haven't happened. We stop living for today and we learn to dread tomorrow. To break that cycle, we have to find a way to live in the now and seize the day. These are the good old days. So happy to see you today. Hey everybody, thank you so much for coming back and seeing me and Desi. And I hope you had a good fun summer week. And today that fun is not gonna stop, even though I want to do a video today about why we all might be having anxiety. And sometimes, when you get older, you have anxiety and it has nothing to do with what's going on in your life. It has to do with dehydration, with blood sugar, with blood pressure. Now, you all know I'm not a doctor, but I have learned some things that sometimes my anxiety has absolutely nothing to do with anything but something that's happening physically in my body. And I want to share that with you. I also want to share with you some of the challenges we all face when we are aging and when we do feel a little bit disconnected from things. So we're going to cover a lot of territory, but it's not going to be sad. It's going to be informative. One of the biggest reasons I wanted to do this video today is there are so many women that I have talked to that are my age that are dealing with anxiety, but it has nothing to do with what's going on in their life or their mental health. It's just what is happening to us physically. When I got into my 60s, suddenly, not having dealt with a lot of anxiety, suddenly I was like, holy mackerel, fight or flight. I'm ready to run out the front door. What is going on? But I traced my anxiety to a few things that I want to share with you. And the first one is dehydration. I was watching a beautiful woman on YouTube. Her name is Melissa. She has a channel, Melissa55. I will link it below if you're not familiar with her. She is so beautiful, so honest about her life and what she's going through. And last week she was talking about how dehydration was causing her to wonder if she had anxiety. And that's what triggered me to kind of jump into action and do this video. Because when I am dehydrated, my vision gets very cloudy and dark. I get very shaky. I feel a little bit sick to my stomach and I feel anxious. It must be very close to maybe what an anxiety attack feels like. And it all can go away by me drinking a couple bottles of water. Another thing that was leading to my anxiety was when my blood sugar started to drop. And this is something that you, of course, you want to talk to your doctor about. And I am going through tests right now to see if we can get my blood sugar down. I am not diabetic, I'm pre-diabetic, but I'm really struggling with super high blood sugar or super low blood sugar. So I have found there's a correlation between very low blood sugar and anxiety. So when my blood sugar starts to tank, I know, because now I know the signs to look for. If I am starting to feel suddenly oddly depressed or anxious, I know it's my blood sugar. It's nothing that's going on. It's my blood sugar. I always keep a little bit of hard candy in my purse just in case that, in case this happens in public, I can get my blood sugar up again. Knowledge is power. So when my girlfriends would say, I just don't get why I'm having all this anxiety all of a sudden, I ask them, are you drinking enough water? Have you checked your blood sugar? Another thing that tripped me up so badly when it came to this kind of false anxiety was my vitamin levels, my vitamin B, my melatonin, and my vitamin D levels. They were so low that they were causing me so many problems. So it's wonderful to open up that dialogue with your doctor. And if you are having suddenly this strange kind of anxiety, take a look at your vitamins, your supplements. Take a look at some of the things that you're taking, maybe not taking. I have learned the older I get, the more I have to be my own advocate for my own health, because I fear that doctors sometimes just write me off. So in me knowing that some of these things can lead to anxiety, I think it really has improved my life. It has given me extra tools to keep my life in check and to keep me happy. Now, it's not just vitamins. It's not just, my blood sugar or how much water I'm drinking. There are other things that contribute to anxiety, and that's what I want to talk about next. This week I have read so many studies on women and anxiety, and especially the anxiety they feel as they get older. And sometimes we're labeled retired. So we've kind of lost our label. If we had a career, we're no longer a doctor or a nurse or a lawyer. We're retired. We look in the mirror and we don't always recognize our bodies or our faces. Sometimes I look in the mirror and I see my mom. I love that quote of, when you get a certain age, stop trying to find yourself and suddenly start creating yourself. So I think when I really internalized that, I started to live a much happier life. I've had a whole lifetime of looking for myself, and I was lost, but then I was found. And now every single day I get up and I'm excited. What am I going to do today? What can I do to create this wonderful, exciting life for myself? Stretch my horizons. Do something out of my comfort zone. Be a little bit afraid to do something that I've never done before. But I do know if I'm bit by a snake, he won't help me and he'll steal my money. You cannot have a conversation about anxiety without talking about depression. So I have tried, knowing that depression is a breeding ground for anxiety, I try to lead the happiest life that I possibly can. I have created very happy rituals for myself, daily or weekly. And it has made all the difference in my life. And when I'm happier, Anxiety cannot hang its hat at my door. I mean, some of the rituals I do, I mean, they really are so silly, but still, like, I never go to fast food. I cook myself a little four-course dinner, and even if my dessert is only, like Greek yogurt, it's still 4 courses. Desi and I, rain or shine, we go out and we walk after dinner for 40 minutes, and we have so much fun. Okay, Desi hates the rain, but, we're working through this. But it is such a happy ritual to know that we're both having a wonderful time out there walking. And the walking really has helped me kind of get a hold of the middle of my body that seemed to be spreading like Nevada everywhere. I don't know what that means, but anyway. I shut off the computer right before I want to go to bed, and I turn on the TV and I watch little corny episodes of shows that I associate with a very happy time in my life. Shows that make me laugh. I don't want to think, I just want to laugh. I love watching The Golden Girls. I love Friends. I love Frasier. There's so many lovely Cheers. There's so many wonderful shows that make me laugh, and Seinfeld. I can't stop. I love them. I know it's silly, but before I go to bed, I've had a half hour of laughing. So that really helps me too. And for those of you who have been with me a while, on Sunday nights is my jazz night. I want to go out. I want to dress up whether I feel like it or not. I want to wash my hair, put my lipstick on. I want to go out and I want to feel life. I want to hear life. I want to smell life. And if it's bad weather, I'll take a cab. I'll take an Uber. I just need to get out and grab life. And I'm going to do that for as long as I possibly can. When you start reading and studying about women and anxiety and depression, almost the top of everybody's list is negative thinking. And that negative thinking brings us to a place of depression and anxiety. One thing that has really saved me from a lot of negative thinking is what I call the Bob and Steve rule of life. And let me tell you what that is. All right, I got a blind date and his name is Steve, right? He picks me up and I take one look at him and I can't stand him. He takes one look at me and he can't stand me. But you know what? We go to the movies, and after the movie, we go to his favorite coffee shop and we have pie and coffee, and we are so bored. I'm sitting there and I'm eating my pie and drinking my coffee, and I'm looking into Steve's face, and I pretty much figure he doesn't like me any more than I like him. And I'm starting to feel so depressed. I just wasted my whole evening, right? Why did I shave my legs? I shaved my legs for this? Finally, we get up to leave. Oh boy. And as we're going out, his very best friend, Bob, who is newly single, right? He grabs him by the arm and says, "Hey, Steve, how you doing?" And Steve goes, "Hey, Bob, it's great to see you. This is my date tonight. This is Susan." And I look at Bob, and Bob looks at me, and it's love at first sight. So out of the worst night of your life, it suddenly becomes the best night of your life. You suddenly have met the love of your life. That's what I consider the Bob and Steve rule of life. You get fired from your job and, oh my God, my life is over. But then suddenly, because you got fired, you're in your dream job. You weren't looking for a new job, but the worst thing that could happen to you landed you in this beautiful, wonderful place. That's life. today I am wearing my favorite Victorian blouse. And it had to be green because Desi said he was wearing green and I had to wear green. So he's so strict. And I am wearing my Vincent van Gogh pendant of his painting Sunflowers in it. That painting always reminds me to have hope. One thing they have found a direct link to is feeling stuck and then feeling depression and anxiety. When we feel hopeless, when we feel nothing is going to change, when we feel that no matter what we do, the outcome is going to be negative, that leads us to some of the deepest depression we will ever know. You have to make sure that you fight. You just fight the good fight against feeling hopeless. I've been here on this platform for 8 years. And I look back on some of my very early videos when I was so sad and broken from my divorce and I was with my blind dog, Cooper. And at the end of every video, I'd be in a chair looking out the window and I was shattered. But I had one thing that kept me going besides you. I had hope. I always felt that I could change the future. I always felt that tomorrow could be a better day. It's kind of the Scarlett O'Hara way of dealing with life. I won't think about that today because tomorrow will be a better day. I always had that. And I don't know if we're born with that or if we can cultivate that. But that is the one thing, when I look back on those videos, I always cry. And I don't look very often, but when you leave a comment, I go back and I watch and I cry every single time. And I don't cry from being sad. I cry from being wistful. I remember feeling like the good old days would never come again. That even though I had some hope, I felt I could never truly be happy again. There is something about the songs that we listened to when we were young girls or young teenagers. We're all about the same age here, right? And we were listening to Carly Simon and Joni Mitchell and Bonnie Raitt and James Taylor and all those wonderful artists. But they were all writing songs about looking back on their life when they're old, but they weren't old. Like Joni Mitchell was writing songs like Both Sides Now, and she was 22. What did she know about how life would look when you're old? She didn't, but she just imagined it. They all did. Simon and Garfunkel, A Time It Was. Oh, what a time it was. I have a photograph. Preserve your memories. They're all that's left you. How would they know that? They were 25. Carly Simon had a song called Anticipation. Do you remember that song? She was getting ready for her hot date with Cat Stevens, and she wrote that song while she was waiting for him, and he was late. I love that story. But the lyric in that song at the end is, "These are the good old days. These are the good old days." And I understand that now, especially looking back on my older videos. Right now, the life we're living right here and now, we're living the good old days. Someday, we're going to look back on what we're doing today and think, oh, those were the good old days. We're never going to be as young as we are right now at this moment. And we got to grab it and enjoy it and live it. And just push all the negative thoughts away. But especially, nothing is hopeless. Nothing is written in stone. You are not stuck. You are the captain of your own ship. Sail away, my sister. find a way to live in the now and seize the day. These are the good old days. Hey everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. I loved every second of it, and Desi did too. Well, okay, well maybe he's just neutral. If you get time down below, could you share something that has helped you with anxiety in your lifetime? It would be so helpful for all of us to get some tips. Please have yourself a wonderful, happy, safe, brand new week. And when you're done with your week, come back and see me and Desi, okay? All right, it's a deal. We'll be here.